consider pro-constitutional groups, we all have the same mission in California, right? We're all trying to infiltrate the party and make it right. It went wrong, right? Somewhere after Ronald Reagan, it went wrong. So if we could wave a magic wand, let's say this works, and we infiltrate with constitutionalists the Republican Party in California, what do we do then? Let's say we're in the majority, then what? So you're given the power. I'm asking you, what would the first things you would do? How would you try and right California? I mean, California's in trouble, right? We got two choices. It's a bilateral choice in this state. We can fight or flight. And there's a lot of people, we have a negative growth now, you know that? They're leaving. We know that, right? Okay, so we're fighters, right? Maybe at some point we're gonna flight too. But let's say we get the power in the Republican Party. What are you gonna do with it? Honestly, Ruth? You got any ideas? Somebody, give me an idea. What?
Close the border. Secure the borders.
Okay. That's a good point, right? He would be a great governor, right? Okay, but the problem is we're outnumbered, right? Okay, but how do you get that done?
Yeah.
You're in the minority.
Yeah.
No, you've infiltrated the Republican Party.
Just a party, guys. Yeah.
I'm not dreaming here. I'm saying I think it's possible to infiltrate and take over the Republican Party. But then what?
You re-empower the central committees.
Okay, then what?
Then you start winning elections again.
How?
By getting out the vote.
Okay, but how do you turn an electorate that is majority Democrat into voting for people like him for governor?
By telling the truth.
They're all going to start
Educate?
because they go to California.
Educate's very important. Whoever said that? Yes, ma'am.
All you do is just have billboards of poop, needles, and LA, and you say, we didn't cause this, vote for someone else.
I think that's a great campaign. I think this is a great campaign. Right here. This says it all to me. I don't know why you have to have that, frankly. The Republican Party is missing the boat, I think. And I hate identity politics. So I'm going to say something that's going to make some of you mad. The Tea Party's dead.
Yeah, I knew that.
It's dead.
Well, the zombies are here.
Did you hear what Rand Paul said in the well of the Senate
No.
last month? He said the Tea Party is dead.
It's just morphed.
Why would I say something outrageous like that, since I am a member of the Tea Party and I believe in what we are trying to do? Why would I say that? Our model is broken, guys. Our model is broken at the national level and at the state level. Maybe the greatest example is Paul Ryan, right? Here's a guy who ostensibly identifies with the Tea Party, had the immense power as Speaker of the House. We had, for 2 years, control of the House and the Senate, and a guy in the White House that would have signed, for example, a border bill that would have funded the wall. Do you know that sucker lied to the president? Do you know he did? He lied to the president, said the votes weren't there. And remember, it's right toward the end of his power structure, right at the end, all of a sudden the votes were there.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
That's who we're up against. We're not just up against the Democrats. We're up against the Republicans, too. Maybe the greatest example of what we're up against is, any of you remember Dave Bratt? Congressman for Virginia? He's a friend of mine. He had a 100% Liberty score with conservative review, meaning he voted constitutionally 100% of the time. But he's gone. He was fired by ostensibly the voters. Or was he?
No.
Or was the Republican Party working against him? Yeah, they were working against him. They help defeat him. Now, what does that say? Do you know what, by the way, if you don't know, Conservative Review is a website, and you can plug in any elected official, federal office, and you find out what their liberty score is. Okay? Their liberty score is based on how you vote constitutionally on the Second Amendment, or on the budget, or on border immigration issues. Do you know what Paul Ryan's liberty score was? Do you know what Mitch McConnell's liberty score is? Do you know what Kevin McCarthy's liberty score is? They're all around 32%. Yeah. That's your leadership. I believe it. Okay, so guys, what happens? So we're electing people, right? And we're sending them to Congress, and then they go to the dark side. Then they go and kiss Kevin McCarthy's ring, or back then Paul Ryan's ring. They're corrupted, and then they don't vote for sane budgets, for example, right? They vote for insane budgets. So we now have a $23 trillion debt and a $220 trillion unfunded liability. How's my daughter going to pay for that? How's my grandchild going to pay for that? You know, we're not going to be stuck with it. They're going to be stuck with it. So it's fiscal insanity. I don't have to tell you that. You know that. Good people still need to be sent to Congress, without a doubt. And good people still need to be sent, try to send them to California. And we need to continue to try and shake some sense into the California Republican Party. It's no secret, I have been considering running for Congress. There's a draft committee, and there has been for quite some time now. It's a really quite an educational process for me. It's a foreign object, and Kimberly's been great, giving me some advice. Carl DeMaio has been helping me out. Omar's just telling me don't do it. But I'm asking myself a lot of questions. First of all, my sanity. Personally, where is my power more effective? Is one person of 435? Or on a television program where I can bring on people running for Congress like this gentleman over here? So there's that to consider. But also, I think we need to fix California. Maybe as badly as we need to fix Washington, D.C. And I think that we would all agree that Washington, D.C. is off the constitutional rails. I've spoken to you, as I did last year, about some ideas that I have to fix this. One of the reasons why I'm here with you is because I support you, and I love what you do, and I totally agree with what you're doing. But, you know, I reached out to the California Republican Party multiple times, saying, hey, I'm here, you need me to speak, you need me to moderate something. Jessica Patterson, would you like to come on my program?
Crickets.
Crickets.
Yeah.
Crickets. You know why? I think she's afraid.
Ooh, okay.
I think she's afraid of the truth.
This is juicy here.
I'm not going to go into what I think of that leader, but I think she's exemplary of the problem in California, right?
Well.
So my point is that there's a limit to what we can do here in California with the party. So what if, on the national level and the state level, we went around all this stuff? What if we use the California Constitution to fix California, and what if we use the federal Constitution to fix Washington, D.C.? Will Washington, D.C. fix Washington, D.C.? No. It's not going to happen. So on my program, from time to time, we talk about the Article 5 Convention of the States. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
There's a lot of pushback to that, and I was talking to Richard Manning yesterday, and I could sense when I brought it up on the air that he's not a fan of it. And one of the things that people are afraid of is, quote, a runaway convention. Now, for those of you who don't know what the Article 5 is, the framers of the Constitution gave us two ways to fix the Constitution. One's been done 27 times, one's been done 0.
Yeah.
The one that's been done 0 is a convention of the states. You know, back when they built the Constitution in 1787, they convened a lot. And so they envisioned state representatives coming together and proffering amendments to the Constitution. Let's say, for example, if I did run, by the way, one of my main planks would be term limits for Congress.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we impose those ourselves? I'm talking about Congress. Why don't we impose those ourselves through a convention of the states?
Ah, interesting.
You need 2/3 of the states to call a convention, and then 3/4 of the states to pass a constitutional amendment. You're completely bypassing Congress. Congress has no role in this. There are 14 states signed on right now to do this. And there's no reason why California and your power that you have, I firmly believe that there's enough power up and down the state, conservative power, constitutional power, that we can do this. I would also run on, by the way, a balanced budget requirement. I think that if you get those two things in Washington, D.C., you change the dynamic forever, and it's the beginning of the end of the establishment. If you have term limits, and if you have a balanced budget amendment, forever the dynamic is changed for the better. Okay, so what do we do about California? California is even more interesting in its constitution. Do you know how many times the California Constitution has been amended? 400 and something times. Do you think the framers of the California Constitution ever imagined 400 amendments? So clearly the bar is too low in California, right? So that's probably something we got to look at. There are 3 ways to amend the Constitution in California. Anybody know what they are, Ruth?
Revolution.
Ballot initiative, 2/3 the legislature, and 2/3 the legislature calling a convention. Isn't that fascinating? Never been done, but it's fascinating. What if we focused our efforts into devolving the power from Sacramento to the 58 counties? What if we used the ballot initiative process in California, in our Constitution, to empower the 58 counties to have veto and have override of, for example, legislation, like AB 54. Is it AB 54? Sanctuary? SB 54, sorry. SB 54. What about that? 58, can't do it. You know why? Because we would also get judicial override, 2/3 the counties. And guess what? The majority of the counties are still red. So what if we used the California Constitution? What if we turned our power, besides just trying to elect good people to office, but we turned our power in this other direction here, where we try and use the California Constitution to fix this state? How about it? Is it crazy? It's going to take a paradigm change. You're all going to have to be evangelists. And so this is what I'm thinking as I'm wondering about running for Congress or not. Maybe I need to be the evangelist. Maybe I need to take point on this. Maybe as Carl is running for Congress and hopefully he gets elected.
Explain that Carl didn't have a sex change.
That's not Carl.
I'm not Carl.
Carl didn't have a sex change? Is that what he said? This is Carl's representative. Carl DeMiles' representative. I'm not going down that rabbit hole either. You said that. I didn't. Okay. I've got enough rumors about me out there. Where was I? Oh, Carl is busy running for Congress. So what if we help his reform California, for example, in this direction? What if we turn that effort into this direction of using the California Constitution to fix the state? Guys, here's my point. We're defining insanity. Yes, we want good people running. We have to have good people running. But we're expecting a different result.
No, I'm Carl.
Hey, I'm not saying leave California. I'm saying that there's a point where we're going to have to make a paradigm change here, and I think we're at it.
Right.
And so we're going to have to, in my opinion, make this sea change, and I think that the spot to start is the Tea Party movement, because we are part of the main power base, the conservative power base in California. And I believe that if we organize and we get the leadership in the California Tea Parties, we can do this. I believe we can do it on the national level with Article 5. I think we can all become evangelists for that, and I think we can fix it here in California by using the California Constitution. You had a question? Somebody had a question.
I mean, we only have 45% of the state is Republican. How are we going to do it any other way?
Can you repeat the question?
It's a good question. How do you, okay, you get it on the ballot, right? So we have a recall effort right now. The sanctuary effort. They need fight sanctuary state, right? So they're trying to erase that bill. These are wonderful efforts. And recall Ding Dong Newsom? Absolutely, right? But these are little bites at the apple, right? Because behind Ding Dong is going to be another Ding Dong, right? And if they repeal the sanctuary law, they're going to write another one. So this is why we need to take charge. This is my point. Even if you infiltrate the Republican Party, which is great, I'm all for it, it's not enough. It's not going to be enough. Somebody have another question over here? I saw another hand. Yes. Mrs. DeMaio, go ahead.
I would just say that the California electorate is actually, they've made decisions that, 187 or 180, whatever, that are fairly conservative, and then the Ninth Circus Court has destroyed it. And so what happened is there's a groundswell of people who just went, forget it, and they don't vote. And part of what I've learned working with Carlos, when you call people, they've been taught, maybe by the Republican Party, to give their money elsewhere. We've got, what did Prescale say today? We give more to Trump than any other state? Yeah. We've got the resources here, but we're like a battered spouse.
Right. And don't you think, what is your first name, by the way?
Roxanne.
Roxanne. I'm sure you haven't. Just like I haven't heard Graham Cracker. I've heard a lot worse. I have 2 ex-wives. That I know of. I think that's a good point. And something like this, I think, could energize, really. One of the reasons why Tony Cavart wanted me to run for Congress? This was not my idea to take on Scott Pelosi Peters. It was his idea. You know why? Because he thought, he knew what was going to happen. And trust me, it would happen if I do throw my hat in the ring. It's going to be I'm going to be a lightning rod. They're going to come after me hard. And by they, and I'm not just meaning Scott Pelosi Peters, I'm talking about the local media, the national media, and I think that President Trump would endorse me too, because he said some very nice things about me, and I asked Corey Lewandowski to take his temperature on this, and Corey said, absolutely, he would endorse you. And that would set off a chain reaction. But Tony's idea was that it would energize the base. Yep. And it doesn't take Grammy Ledger running for Congress to energize the base. It can take something like what I'm talking about. I think Carl is on the right track with Reform California. It just needs a little shot in the arm. And that's what I'm talking about. We become the evangelists on this. Now, we need some good minds like Eric Early, and I'm going to try and press him into service for this. Eric, if you don't know, as aforementioned, he's running against Adam Schiff, and but he's an attorney. And, we need to draw this thing up and make sure that it will work. And, pencil it out a little bit, and I think it does work. But I think that this is a really good point, that we need to energize the Republicans and not have them be afraid of their own shadows. I'm tired of that. So, anything else? I'm done, I think. Yeah.
Stick a fork in you?
Yeah. Wait, well, one more question over here. Yeah.
Graham, basically what you're talking about is a semi-electoral college for California. And if we had an electoral college function going on in California, we would not be in the mess that we're in now because of the number of rural conservative counties.
Right.
Right. They have no voice. I wouldn't call it an electoral college, no. I would call it a convention of the counties. What a marvelous thing, right?
Convention of the counties.
They meet quarterly or, whatever schedule you want to set up. I mean, that's the beauty here. We can draft it. We can draft this. And think about how the counties would be. Isn't that really what the framers of the Constitution would want? Your boards of supervisors, the people that you are closest to, would be, these are your eyes and ears. That we could literally affect change. Yes, vote for that constitutional amendment in California that declares California no longer a sanctuary, whatever. Picture it. Term limits. Yes, vote for that override from the Supreme Court or whatever lower court that did some wacky decision that let a murderer off who murdered Kate Steinle. How about that? I mean, think about that. We have the power to do that in a system like this if we wanted to.
They actually use this power because even here, once they declared Cathedral City a sanctuary city, they literally organized meetings at every council meeting throughout our district to turn the entire district into a sanctuary city. They fight, and we sit by and we let it happen.
Yeah.
Wait, what did you say?
I think this is a decent solution. Yes, ma'am.
Sounds like what you're talking about is New California.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, you better write it.
Oh, no, I'm not trying to split California. I think that's a
No, I
cockamamie
said,
idea.
no, but what, all the things you're talking about, that's what they're doing.
No, what they're,
No, it's not a splitting California, no.
no, but it might be a solution.
But their solutions are what you're saying.
Right, the objective of your solution is really what New California is trying to achieve.
I'm not advocating the splitting of California.
No, you're not hearing me. I'm not
I'm not saying you are, but what you're saying is
I'm not tired. I think I had them on the program one time, and I don't think that like the Jefferson thing. God bless them, but
No, they're not talking about that.
this is splitting California from the Union. Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Which one are you talking about, man? I don't know which one.
New California.
A new California. I don't know what
Part of the union.
the 51st state.
Article 4, Section 3 of the Constitution provides for a state to break up. Article 4 of the Section 3 of the Constitution. New California provides that opportunity to look at breaking, like Virginia in 1856, exactly the same way.
1863.
1863, my apologies. Yeah, I'm just an Australian. But what they're doing is they are providing an opportunity to put forward the grievances of the Californian people to the Californian people and also to the President of the United States. He knows about this. He receives those grievances every month.
Creating a 51st state.
Yeah, to create a 51st state, following the Constitution. The Jefferson approach was not following the Constitution,
Right.
and the three-state solution that was provided, was going to be on the ballot, was crazy because it would never work. So what they're doing is they're following the constitutional process to see where it ends up.
County by county.
County by county. And that's what this lady was talking about.
Yeah, that's.
It's a similar
I understand that you're trying to draw a parallel there, but there's no parallel. That's not. I understand that you're going county by county to get that done, but go ahead. Yeah.
You know what the ratio of the red to blue counties is in California?
I don't have it by heart, but they're within. The last time I checked, it was 30-something Republican or pretty close to even.